I know now that I'll make it out alive.
Just dropped on Celsius Recordings, the legend that is Echo-matics, with his Crow's Eyes EP, and this is the title track for that EP. I'm going to play another one a little bit further in the mix. The whole EP, all 4 tunes, is fucking mind-blowing. You're locked into Unified Music, episode 36. Yeah, baby.
call the London Massive. No, I don't know where he just vanished into there. I think this is what the other ones have done, just walk in behind the bushes. The magpie never come out. Like Maxwell Smart magpie. He walked into the bushes. Alright, I'm out, most of the lot. There you go. I mean, look, this is probably exactly how I was tricked in here in the first place, was that they put a 6 inch or something or other, and I was, tricked into helping it. And then I got swept up in a net or something and came to on a baby's body. It's taken me some time to even get this far. It doesn't seem like very far. But something happened recently is like, actually there's a few. I am getting a bit of say, yeah. And there's probably a number of us, like the real ones of us, that's how they got us in here. Is we just had, because you want your help. That's what we're here for, that's what you do. But then the thing is, these false flag, shifty, shapy little meanie motherfuckers, for lack of a better bunch of terms, it's like when I saw the shapy police down Seacliff. I'll refer to that video. They had the girl that was crying on the ground was not a girl, it was a fucking shapy. It was a trick. It even got my attention. I see a bunch of cops standing around, a girl crying. I'm at least going to watch. I was just for at least film it. And it wasn't until I looked afterwards I realised that, of course, she was basically like a dummy on the ground. It was a big shapy scam. So, and I'm not saying don't help, because it's just the same. Yeah, yeah. But something happened recently, so well. But if you just keep being honest and keep your intentions right, I think it kind of things work alright anyway. That's how it goes. And then if you're up against that kind of deception and devious, dastardly behaviour, deeds, well, it actually seems to foil it somehow strangely. Again and again I've noticed that I've naively, optimistic to a fault at times, it would seem, and trying to benefit the doubt of this. But what's happening sometimes is that it was just as well, because it was that actually seemed to somehow, while I might be in a shitty situation, it would also somehow save my skin because of that, again and again. So I'm just saying, if you're like me and you're likely trapped by, helping someone or something. Well, he seems to be walking a bit better anyway. He's walking. I mean, he's got some. Yeah, he's a bit funny. But he's alright. I mean, I am getting a bit. So he's the same one that had the bad leg, right? And he's got no beak and no head, but he's walking around here. So he's the same one that had the bad leg, right? And he's got no beak and no head, but he's walking. See the way the light comes off him? And there's a dude that I helped the other night. And I'll leave it at that. Look how he's like kind of vanishing in this colour square blocks and things, right? He's got the mega lot, strange light aura around him. That's much like the mate I helped the other night, who might have been part of some sort of shapy scam operation, but you never know, on the off chance that he's not. Tried to help if I could and where I could, so I might. Which, you know, anyhow, white dolphins, about that. First time I saw this deer, I was like, oh, the markings aren't like any magpie or something. But gee, his legs improved and the rush was perfect. Oh, that's great. I think he's basically like Michael. He's been put into this form as a spell of some kind. And you know, I'm happy to look after him, help him if I can. But you can see, or I can see, he's something else altogether otherwise than the authentic, genuine Murray magpie we usually would see. This is, yeah, so it's interesting. Push it. No, I don't know where he just vanished into there. I think. Alright, everything. No worries. Should have got in my room. That'll be the next thing. Materialising in. You alright? You're out the front door, hang on. I'll let you out the front door. You never did like going. You scared the shit out of me about that front door last time. You never did like going out that front door. Right, now you're acting like the real you. If you go near that little magpie, you're going to be in big trouble. Alright, now you are acting a bit more like you, but and perhaps it's a takeover job, but with a takeover there's also like a physical, there's well, flaws. Like that cat I had the other year that had too many paws. Who had 5 legs anyhow. Just, you know, so they go up in there. But Yeah, that would explain last night's peculiar Brokeback Mountain. Memento metaphor, what's the word I'm looking for? Dedication, I don't know.
Feel the way. Feel the way.
Okay, she wasn't there before. The whole time I was out there, she didn't send her. That's really not getting me to be the one that scratches me and knocks me out, so I'm not going to get better. So, invitation coming. Okay, she wasn't there before. The whole time I was out there, she mighty big right here, you got there, Kimmy, yeah, that one. There's not a mighty big right here, you got there, Kimmy, yeah, that one. The last time she had a different colour, this time she had that blue on her as well. Hello? The last time she had a different colour, this time she had that blue on her as well. Hello? Yeah. And Kimmy's like raggier than that. She's usually all scruffy. This one's got, they've done on with too much fur and too clean a fur. She's got mats. She's usually got mats all over her. A bit of a cheek. The colouring's different. You see she's blending with the background there as well. This is the one that one tricked me into getting scratched by and knocked me over. This is well, it's pretty good. It's pretty, it's just not 100%. I'll repeat myself and say when you spell check, you almost guess the word right, but let's fix it up just a little. That's what we got here. It's a pretty good version of Cami. It's not actually Cami, which gives me some hope that it wasn't actually Adam that was doing the Adam, whatever the thing bad Adam was doing last night. He won't be very impressed when he finds out. But obviously that will be going a lot, I suppose. That's probably all they have to do is get someone, they just have a shapey that's like you to do things. And that's they call it brownstoning, whatever. That's the most fucked thing, is it doesn't even have to be you, and they just use you and, well, a shapey that looks like you, or a shapey being you. I'm sure that's been going on. Some of the dodgy jobs I had, like, oh, I wouldn't have believed if I hadn't seen it. So, we're dealing with false flag, cowardly sorts of bags. Very good impersonators. Just not perfect. Cameras a lot rattier than usually all scruffy. This one's got. I've done all the two scruffy. This one. Cameras a lot rattier than.
Feel the way. Feel the way.
So at some point, I presume I'm going to put this spoken word bit into this video, which I might have to, I'm so loath to edit it down because this was just a real-time review of the footage and want to celebrate it, overly, well, in an over-the-top, egotistical manner. It's not what I'm doing. What I actually saw at the time, it's a tiny little screen on the P900. It's quite small, but it's about before I go on about that. See, look, extra nostrils. How many nostrils? How many holes for the nose for breathing does a cat normally have? Little, subtle, but obvious things. All right, so what was I can see here, especially looking at the screen through the screen, or through this screen onto that screen, I can see even clearer that, as strange as it may sound, effectively we're looking at a collection of little things, little meanies, pretending to, putting on an exceptionally good. Look at the eyes when she was like, because this is at 3% speed, and I was watching it back, and I was like, wow, because I was spot on. It wasn't gammy. It was the it's been an imposter one that's come out of that bush in the past and got back into that bush. I explained this, at the time here in this footage, in real time as I was watching it. When she went back into the bush, all dejected. When I said, first I said, oh, the right ear's a bit big. She twisted her right ear. Look at the eyes when she turns here. Because that slowed down, you could see, or I could see much clearer, that things are not quite right. The nose, the whole, she ends up with a bunch of multiple eyes, which really weren't obvious without the camera, certainly to my eyes. And even with the camera, I couldn't see that from there. But slowing it down, here it's like, oh wow, yeah, she's made up of the different parts. It's the same thing I've said and shown with gang stalking people, men and women in the in the past. Void of my own wrong, but said it at previous other points in time. And it is a bit of a strange concept. People to be like, oh, what the fuck, cool. I get that. I'm not. It's just how it is. I'm just it's just it's that sounds strange and wacky, but yeah. Buckle up. It's where we're at. That's what's going on. You're a hologram living in a hologram. Yeah. It's, we're all light, but there's a frame rate issue, and there's a speed of, particular type of light that's part of our show that we're catching up to some of the tricks that seem to have gone on and will continue to go on until we we catch up to it, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're here for. That's part of the game. But it was interesting that I'm trying to think now, dude. Yeah, I think this is me in real time. I just happened to just shut it on record anyway because it was like I'd already seen that the magpie that I'd found was a bit. He's just, and I explained it in this coming up, I think, but he was just bizarre. He had no awareness. Yeah, I was mowing the lawn. He stopped. Look here, look here. Look, that's. I realise that I've just done this for the audio, and now I'm pointing it out as if. Now it's making a far more complicated editing job for myself, and I'd hitting screen record while I was doing this is making it easy because I seem to get messed up trying to spend any extended time in this room in the one spot, to be frank, but certainly editing in front of the TV is a drama. They're telling everyone now that there's a lot of asthma around. It's the gas. It's the people using gas in the house. My mum bought that hook, line and sinker. It's like, my housemate uses gas to cook food occasionally on the stove. That's it. That's not causing asthma. On the one hand, they want to get rid of gas here. They're making everyone go to electricity because they're psychos and it's part of their plan. And the other thing is, well, what's the radiation poisoning? Effectively is like kind of like the flu, but a little bit different. Much like the symptoms that become quite in vogue the last 3 years. The oxygen molecules at 60 gigahertz being spun to the point that they're no longer magnetized, so it can't bond. So therefore, you breathe in air, oxygen, and there's no oxygen in your blood because it's oxygen is the molecules are magnetized together. There's a better way of explaining that, but at some point I've got presentations that back it all up. I was going to make a video, but there's many things I was going to do. So I can't quite recall why I started that. But I think that's got to do with why. It's not asthma. Not that I couldn't breathe. I know asthma very well. I had it for the majority of my youth quite severely. It's a restricting of your airways. You get wheezy. That's it. That's you have Ventolin or Briconol or Becotide or Pulmicort or freaking the number of them, and it relaxes your airways and allows you to breathe. That's asthma. What I had today and what I've had bouts of in the last few years, quite seriously at times, is a lack of oxygen in my blood, forcing cramps when I drink water quite a lot. That's what I drink, water. It's a difference. So when I was breathing, I wasn't getting appropriate oxygen. I'd kept sleeping, kept falling asleep. It's happening to a lot of them. Something to a lot. It's got more to do with the bandwidth, certain parts of the frequency bath that we're taking, with apparent consensual awareness, but I beg to differ not. Many of them don't know. They don't know. I've got time to even be looking into stuff. I've looked into things, and the parents of the children that I'm related to were like, I didn't have a clue. I showed them the reports, gave them this is what that phone tower near your house is doing. I don't give a shit. They haven't got time. There's too much going on. It's like a little bat sort of dude. It's with this type of thing. It's like, okay, well, I know we're looking through. And we're looking through orbs. We're looking through kind of, I don't know, it sounds going to sound out there, but it's like translucent creatures, which I think are more or less part of us, what we do. So I'd considered, all right, well, this type of thing, okay, is that? I don't. In a sense, it's that, but it's not. That's not why she's looking like this. And slowing it down. It becomes quite apparent what's put on the show. I mean, there's a bit where she comes. I was half just going to talk over this because just to explain what I was pointing at with my mouse, but the whole thing's going to go for. Look, no one with any. I don't want to put the short attention span that seems to be an issue with most I see around me in this realm in a physical type way. Goddamn, yeah, there's a lot with short attention spans. I mean, I suppose not mine certainly less than what it was, but there's also a lot with reasonable attention spans, so I've got to stop. It's like all the road rules here, that the recommended speeding limit. You know, it's the yellow sign here. That's set for the shittest car on the road. It's set for the shittiest Gronka van that could just tip over going around that corner. That speed isn't set for example, on my bike, I go 3 times as fast as that, and not a drama, I'd be able to do more. So that analogy, the metaphor, the explanation for why, really for me, so I'd stop applying my own reservation, the handbrake on a sharing of knowledge that learn. I'll cut me off, fair enough. That's not what I said a second ago, but I want to record it. Yeah, you know, just just because something goes for a while, I'm remind myself to not preempt or curtail such lessons, presentations, art manifestations, learning to things in the realm that we were never taught that turn out to be pretty well. How it's what did I say? Curtail. See, I was forgetting the rhyme word, and then I couldn't think of one. Kurt whale. See, no, straight away my mind went to like music and whatnot. Because we are old program. That's just how it is. Oh shit! It's like radio then.
Oh, I'm gonna shut that up.
You got scruff. This one's got.
Most of
Don't want too much fur and too clean a fur. She's got mats. She's got mats all over her. A bit of a cheek. The colouring's different. You see she's blending with the background there as well. This is the one that tricked me into getting scratched and knocked me over. This is it's pretty good. It's just not 100%. I'll repeat myself and say when you spell check, you almost guess the word right, but let's fix it up just a little. That's what we got here. It's a pretty good version of Cami. It's not actually Cami, which gives me some hope that it wasn't actually Adam that was doing the Adam, whatever the thing bad Adam was doing last night. He won't be very impressed when he finds out. Obviously that'll be going a lot, I suppose. That's probably all they have to do is get someone, they just have a shapey that's like you to do things. Have a shape on a lot, I suppose. He won't be very impressed. It's interesting that when I was going through this, it was like an eye on the back of the tail. I can see it there now, just there. But that actually, here it is on. It's appearing. So that wasn't on the tail, as you may have noted. Probably not. You didn't know about it. But I think this is it appearing now. I'm just realising. I kind of see it there. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's actually gone from the video, even though it's the same video and I screen recorded of my own P900 footage from the backyard. I mean, there's a lot of modifications that take place. I think some are quite local. And that can be for enhancing things. I mean, I see things through the orbs and perhaps others aren't able to see. And I've often thought, wow, is that just happening here between the screen and I for me? And perhaps, I mean, yeah, it's possible. But I think it actually follows. But that's what it's going to help do. They'll kind of transfer the knowledge of information anyway, as I've discussed in the past. The conduit. They link those of us that are here and not necessarily part of the cast. I mean, I suppose we are, but I'm just going with not an NPC programmed apparition of the AI plasma consciousness computer that we are in. So here, okay, here it's coming up. So when I just paused, I was like, just forgetting it. That wasn't there before. And it seems to, well, it doesn't seem to. You see, once he goes back into the Narnia in the tree, the bush in the backyard, the corner, it's still there. It's just like a thing attached to a tail, because well, that is part of it. That's the thing, and that's what would happen with a lot of them. It's actually the same. What I'm saying, it's the same. It's the same creature or being. Okay, at this point I've decided to gimp it, so I will be fast forwarding through. So, alright, I'll shut up. It's going to shut up. Oh, that's not good on the screen there. Yeah, I got a fright because the music camera got on. Shut the hell up.
These niggas flip like coin. These bitches fall like lawn chair. I'm with this shit like don't care. I'm here, hit I go there. Bitch, I pull up like I'm FedEx. Drop your man up like I'm FedEx. Run up on the plug just to get up. This not a game, it's a setup. I need some peace of mind. I got some peace to find. Run to my Glock to chop the 9. I got some peace to find. I need some peace of mind. I got some peace to find. Run to my Glock to chop the 9. I got some peace to find.
Is the front where the tail is, or is the tail where the front? It's kind of what happened has been, that's what happened last time, if I recall. They start getting weird. Just like the human impersonations, they start doing weird things, and they'll have to hold their hand in front of their hair, like all sorts of silly things, because it starts falling apart, especially when you know. Yeah, I was made to feel a bit silly when I put the one up last year, but cat impersonations are going bad, but I stand by it, still do. I don't expect, most people to necessarily get it, but that's what it is. She's gone back into that bush, because when we used to do it last time, she would just come out of that bush, right? But she doesn't live there. She doesn't climb this cat. It was what would happen is, like, she would scratch me, something would scratch me, right? It was happening again and again, and something would fuck me up, and I would be out, like the flu just would knock me out. That happened a handful of times, and then it started happening. I was actually just telling a mate this the other day how it started again in the morning, like here, a couple of years back. Like Cammy, it wasn't the real Cammy. It sounds nuts, but whatever. She loves me, the cat. She was trying to scratch me. Something was trying to get me. Something was trying to hurt me, right? And I'm like, I knew it. I could tell tomorrow I'm leaving the house. Nah, I'm getting out. And so I left the house. I went to friggin' Aldi, and I didn't like the shops. It wasn't open. It was a Sunday. It was before 10 o'clock. So I ordered a Marion, and I was like, oh cruise. I stopped in a friend's house. Dicky on Pips, they went around the corner, they went home. Well, no, sorry, they weren't up yet. I'm assuming they were home, but it was early on a Sunday. Drove past my house, and I'm like, I didn't come in, I just kept driving. I'm like, something's I just knew it. Someone was trying to get me, right? And it sounds like whatever. Yeah, it might sound it sounds however it sounds, right? But so I get past my house. I'm just going up Seacombe Road, doing 50, 60 k's an hour in the ute, window down, arm out, just like on the edge, you know. Bam! And I've got the footage. I'll dig it up. It was either a wasp or a bee, something, remote control, I don't know. Bam! Straight into my wrist. I'm doing 50, 60 k's an hour down the road. Right? It fucked itself up. It was still moving inside the car. I've never even heard that before. Like, I was doing 50, 60 k's. I don't know how fast it was going. It came like, bam! Like, no, it was boom, straight into my wrist. A massive welt on my wrist. I was like, what the fuck? Right? I was trying to work out what it was. I remember I messaged Charlie and I was like, it's a wasp or a bee, but it was, I don't know if it was a wasp, but my wrist swelled up with a massive welt. I was fucked. Then I stopped at the shops and got biscuits and some weird out of date icebox or something, I don't know, whatever, one of them, whatever it was. And then that added further to insult to injury. It messed me up. I come home, I was out. It's like I had the flu. Now I like passed out for a day or more. And the point of that story is I knew something was coming. Similar thing happened to me the other day, but I'm not going to get into it. I just knew. Don't ask me how I knew, but I knew. Wasp or remote controlled bee-like berzerka wasp of some sort smashed into my wrist while I'm driving along. You know, that'd be weird enough in itself. It was not for the fact that I was driving, because I was avoiding being home because something was trying to cut me, something was trying to get me. Yeah. And I knew it. I fucking knew it. Yeah. Probably I'll share this one. Yeah, so in that, yeah. And that wasn't Cammy. Cammy meows, right, and comes over me for a pat. She's like, she loves a pat. This is like what they tried the other time, because I've been outside looking at the sun and the clouds, waving as the clouds end up being dispersed more, because it's just kind of what you're trying to tell everyone, that's what you do, it's what I do, it's what men and women do. And so that's one thing I was getting, something was fucking me up and knocking me out so I could rain, you know, because, and it was a similar thing before, I was out here with the clouds and like, or the sun, and I'm like, alright, there's a lot of extra life in my garden. Yeah, she came out of there. I was out there the whole time and she didn't come out. She wasn't there. It's not the cat. Looks a lot like her, but it's not quite. They fuck it up just a little bit. Right, same with the people, some of the men and women, some of the scenarios. Yeah, it's the same. Just saying, it's part of the game. Questionable behaviour going on here last night. I'm hoping it's the same situation. It wasn't actually, Mum. And he's not good. He's got no awareness. I mean, he's likely some sort of a shapey bloody distraction, but on the, regardless, here we go. Fucking hell. Yeah, alright, he's alright. He has got awareness, so he's mucking around the other day. Yeah, hi there. How you going? I'm not patting you because I'm not convinced. Alright, love you, but I'm not convinced it's really you. I'm not convinced. You know, no, good, love you. You're welcome to come in if you want. No dramas. You came in the garage that day. That was a bit fun. I was happy though over there, I must say. You know? Well, I'm not going full on the pat because I feel as though it might be a scratch and make me feel ill-trapped. So, love you all. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Very good girl. We don't, apologies if it is really you, Kimmy. It's just this. Yeah, look, it's just where it's the world the realm this sim I'm living in. So it's just look, it's where things are at right now.